the third and final book for this session of Crack the Whip, which haven't decided yet. I haven't uploaded the videos, but it might be part 1, part 2, just because it's been a journey. And this is Summer by Rita Berman. It is a 2-page spread, so I know it's going to take me a while, but I think what we're going to do for this video, we're just going to do like one of these and then I'll do the rest. Then we'll do the flowers. We'll do one, then I'll do the rest. Then I'll do part of the frog and then I'll finish the frog. I'll do part of the flowers. I think I'll do 5 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe the mountain, and then the rest I'll just finish on my own. I'll try to pick the pencils and tell you which pencils I'm going to use, but there's just so much. But let's get started. So for the cattails, I took out 6 pencils. I don't know if I'll use all of those or not, but we have from lightest to darkest, as best as I can do anyway. So Faber-Castell Ivory 103. Then this is a Castle Arts Pastel Tint 016 Apricot Twist. Then this is Polychromos. I said Faber-Castell. Polychromos Raw Umber 180. Then Polychromos Bister 179. Polychromos Walnut Brown 177. That's the darkest. The next one is Nougat 178 and then Walnut Brown 177. Okay, I think these 2 I'm going to use like for highlighting, I think. So we'll keep them to the side and we're going to start with Raw Umber. So let's do this one here because it's probably one of the biggest one. So even if there's patterns, I am not going to worry about the patterns. Like, nope. Nope, nope, nope. I am just going to put a base down. Polychromos are great for layering. So we'll do a light base and then we'll go on to the next color and put another layer, but a light layer, and try to also blend those 2 colors together. Okay, so a very light layer. Polychromos is all about the layering. Okay. Then we'll go with Nougat 178. And we'll put a light layer of this too. Awesome. Okay. All right, and then we have the Walnut Brown 177, and that's, we're just gonna kind of do, you know, like the shadows and stuff. So I think I'm gonna do all, just a little bit down the side here, just to help outline it, if you will. And this is where the light color is going to come in. Because I'm going to take, I don't even know, this Castle Art one. No, I'm not going to use that one. I think I'm just going to use the ivory. And I'm just going to blend these colors together. And then if I feel, oh, it needs, you know, a little bit more of this color or that color, then I'll go and add a little bit. So definitely like the third color, the nougat. I'm gonna go and just add a little bit more of that. Going up. And then the very darkest, the walnut brown. Add a little bit of this. Now, once I'm done this one, I'll just turn off the recording and I'll do the rest of them basically the same way. And what I'll do is, I don't want them all to look a carbon copy of this one. So I, you know, just put different pressure on different colors or put more of a certain color, and then they're all gonna just have that little variety in all of them. So I'm gonna go back in now with the ivory and blend it in. The third color, which is the nougat. I'm going to do a little bit more of that. And then a little bit more of the darker color, which is the walnut brown. Okay. 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 I love that. I'm going to go with the darker brown again. Just for along the edge. And I'm adding color, but also blending out here. I love that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 of them. I'm gonna put a movie on and I will be doing those. Then we'll come back and do the frog. Okay, so this is actually the next day and there's gonna be a change of plans. I started editing the very first book that we worked on, and that video is already 2 hours long. So I think what we're going to do is part 1, part 2, part 3. Instead of like cutting out something, I'll just make it so that, you know, one will be released one day and then maybe a few days later than the other one, and so on and so forth. But anyway, let's work on this. This is like the irises, and I decided to use polychromos first of all, and polychromos doesn't have a lot of purples. So I brought in a Black Widow DG156. It's called Dragon Brews. And then polychromos 138, I think it is. Violet, and then mauve, or maybe blue violet. We'll see, one of those two for the dark shadows, but we'll start with the Black Widow first. So today I had my granddaughter all day. They started moving like boxes into, they got one of those not containers, but where you can store stuff, a storage room. And so they started moving stuff in there while my son-in-law, my daughter, was working, and then she had one of her first physios. So And I was freaking out because I thought it was at 1 o'clock. It was actually at 2. So at 3 o'clock, I still hadn't heard from her. So I don't know if you guys seen that commercial, Life 360, and the mother is just like freaking out. Google Life 360 commercial, and that's exactly how I am with this daughter. Just because she's just been having so many struggles that I know I'm overprotective and I try to rein it in, but sometimes I can't help it. I go in full panic mode. So Violet, so she called me as soon as she was out, before she headed home, and then about an hour and a half later, she came and got my granddaughter. And even my granddaughter, you can tell she just, I don't know, that child is so intuitive. It really traumatized her what happened last summer. Well, one, her mom wasn't home for 5 days. That was like for the surgery. And we didn't want her to see her like when she was that bad. So she didn't see her for the first, I think the day before she came home, or 2 days before she came home. But then a month later, she had a relapse. And then she ended up in the hospital for 9 days. And that's when my granddaughter had a really hard time. And we would bring her, but my daughter was in so much pain. Like we couldn't keep her there for more than 20 minutes. Like, it was just heartbreaking to hear the wailing, like when we would leave. And she was like, "Mama, come home, Mama, come home." And I think she's still traumatized from it. Anywho. So I almost done editing that first video with which book? Hidden Ocean. Ended up doing 2 pages on in that one. And if it can make it so that I can, I don't know, like let's say do 6 WIPs, then yay. And I kind of picked all pages that are really, had a lot left to do. So last night I was kind of picking the pages for the next one, like not this week, which really this week I should be done. And I should be working on Let's Talk, but I'm not done. So I'm going to finish this first, and then I'll work on the Let's Talk after. And I don't even know. Well, I already have one done, so that's why I'm not panicking. I have the Albert Durs. And I mean, it's one of those things that they'll be published when they're done. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, again, coloring kind of saved my butt, in the last year, and a hobby that I've loved since I was pregnant with my son, is actually making it so that just harder because it's pictures. And so scrapbooking is just making me sad, to the point of like, I was thinking like, I just want to sell everything, you know. I'm not going to make that decision when, you know, now, because we're going through a rough spot right now, and you shouldn't make big decisions when you're struggling, right? So, but I'm finding it hard to find I don't even know what to solace, I guess, like, and coloring is the only thing that's doing it for me right now. Let's do, and see, I always look, because when you look at the barrel, this one looks darker. But when you look at the tip, this one is actually darker. So we're going to do that one, and we'll just do the very tip. And I mix the brands of pencils all the time. All the time. Last night I did spend on my desk, like right here, I had a mound of pencils. It was ridiculous. So at least what I did last night was I put all my Castle Arts together and all my polychromos together and all my Albert Durs and so on and so forth. And then that way I can put them away. I'll probably try to do that tomorrow. I have to do a video tomorrow. And then I think the rest of the day, I'm going to try and finish this page. And then I got to start, I think I have 4 videos to edit, and I got to finish filming my haul for June. I have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 books to do. And I got a few supplies. Somebody left a message and said, because I said, can you give me some ideas of things that I could, you know, work with for the Let's Talk session. And she put gouache and acrylic paint. And about 2 weeks ago, I bought a beautiful set of gouache. So that's going to be during I'm going to show those during my haul. And I have a set of acrylic marker, but I think I'm going to buy an even bigger set. So I have something to compare with. I don't think I'll buy paints. I think I'll just use the markers. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I would want to use like paint brushes and that kind of acrylic paint. It's the same thing, so why not just have it in the ease of a marker, right? So I think I'll probably, I don't know if I want to wait because Prime Days are coming. Are they going to be on sale? Maybe. So I might wait because it's only like a week, right? So, and I probably won't be doing the acrylic paint till then anyway. So I might as well wait to see if they're gonna go on sale. And then I think next, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do the Derwent Intense next. I don't know. Or watercolors. I don't know. But I'm having so much fun with that. So much fun. Okay, I like this. Now, what I like to do is is, where's my white Prismacolor? Here it is. So I made our supper already. So we had bought, or my husband did, one of those chickens from Costco that they pre-cook for you. Why not, right? Like, the chicken is more expensive to buy it raw, and then you got to waste electricity to cook it. So, I mean, I have to say, we still cook about 20 minutes in the air fryer. Because before we started doing that, I would get sick every time we had those bloody chickens. I don't think they cooked them enough. So we just put it in the air fryer for 20 minutes. So anyway, we had half the other night with a dill pickle salad. If you've never had those, oh my goodness, delish. From Costco. You get 2 for, I think, $9. And if you buy them at the grocery store, they're $8 each. And there's less stuff in it. So we buy them from Costco. And they have all different ones. But I have to say, that one is one of our favorites. But we've had it so much that now we are having some of the others just because we're getting kind of tired of that one. But anyway, so we had half the chicken the other day. And then today, what I ended up doing is I made some pastry. I made 6, so I can make 3 pies. I made a chicken pot pie with the rest of the chicken. And now we have 4 doughs, which I'm going to wrap a little later and put in the freezer. And I made enough pot pie filling for 2 pot pies, but we don't have the space for a whole plate in our freezer right now. Our freezer is so full, but I can put a container. So I put it in a container, and then I'll just have the balls of dough. And then the day of, it's going to be so easy. The day before, just thaw the dough out and the filling, roll out the dough, and make the pie. Done. Supper done. Much easier if it's in like all together, but like I said, our freezers are full. It's ridiculous to think that, man, do we need another freezer? But because we have the freezer that's on our fridge, we have a stand-up freezer, and then we have one of those, it's just a little chest freezer. Maybe we should have bought a bigger one. But anyway, it's just like, And I like to get meals ready ahead of time. So I think I would love to have a freezer that's all it's for. To put made ahead meals. So we just take it out, thaw it out, done. Like even spaghetti sauce would go in there because it's a made ahead meal, right? And then because I would make lasagna and just put it in the freezer like that, and then we just take it out and it would be done. Okay, so I'm not as stressed about now because I know the video is not going to be 5 hours long. I'm going to make 3 parts. Okay, so I love that. I did end up doing this butterfly too. And I think I want to do maybe like that. Yeah. Just to add a little bit more color. Let's blend it out with the lightest. Let's blend it out with the lightest. I got my container for my markers yesterday, but it was so late by the time I got it. I didn't put it together. And then today I had my granddaughter, so I didn't do it. So I'm hoping tomorrow I can, and I have to move shelves around, move coloring books around, so it's going to take me a while. So, but I want to do it, and then it's just done. Okay, so I don't know, like, why didn't I finish those the same color? Because now I don't know if I can, if I remember what I did those. But anyway, let's do another butterfly. We'll do that butterfly. We'll use light cobalt turquoise 154, cobalt green 156, and hello turquoise 155. We're going to start with 154 and just cover the whole butterfly. Well, at least the wings. So last night I also did that butterfly because I know I'm not going to do everything with you guys, but so we'll do that, and then I'll stop the recording and figure out what I did for those, and I'll just do the one and then I'll finish. I guess there's only two. Eesh. Maybe I'll do those flowers blue too. So I'll use the same combo and do those flowers, just so that I like to use the same colors and make it so that it's not as busy, I guess, looking. Oh, broke my heart. My granddaughter was crying today because my daughter, because when she got here, there was a big truck in her driveway, so she couldn't pull in. So she just parked on the street. Anyway, they left, and so she went to get her car to put her in. She didn't want to walk on the street to put her in the car, right? Because it's not safe. Anyway, oof, my granddaughter cried. I was like, okay, let's put your shoes on. You're going home, dude. You know, it's okay. My daughter came in. She goes, it's because she didn't see me this morning. I left before she woke up. So she's pretty upset when she doesn't see her mom in the morning. Oh, poor little peanut. But we had a good day. She didn't want to nap. That didn't help either, because now she's super cranky. Right? Okay, so we'll do this color here, and what I'll do is I'll blend it with either the white or the lightest color, one or the other. So I'll do this. I might do those little dots in purple or something, just to add another color. So pretty. So again, if you use the same color, then it just keeps the tone. But if you use white, it lightens it. And I think I want to lighten it a little bit. So we'll do it with the white. And then I'll just stop the recording and I'll do these flowers the same way. I'll just fan out like that, and then, or I think I'm going to do the dark in the middle, and I'll do the light on the edges. So I'll do like, I'll probably just use 2 colors maybe. Let me try that. It's not very big, so it's not as if I have like a ton of room to add a ton of layers and everything. So I'm just going to blend that center out, and then I'll go back in and redo it. I'll probably sharpen my pencils too, so that they're nice and sharp so I can get in there. Okay, let's this. Like that. I didn't think I was going to film today, but she went home at 4:30. I thought I was going to have her till like 5:30, so 6. So I didn't think I'd have time to film, but 4:30, supper's already ready, so I should finish filming my haul. That's what I should do. Oh, that butterfly's so cute. I almost want the edges this light. It's kind of dark there, so I'm going to try and lighten the other ones, not go over top so hard with the light blue. I think I'll just do this like that, and then lightly instead of hard to try to blend it like this. And then I'm going to take the white and I'll blend with the white. Yeah. Yeah, that's cute. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to finish these flowers. And is there anything else I could do with the blue? I think I'm going to do those in yellow. So I'll just do those. We're going to move on to the frog, almost said turtle. And I'm going to use 2 woomers and 2 polychromos. I find the woomers and the polychromos go really well together. They kind of finish each other off. So for the woomer, I got WP 406, which is chartreuse. Then polychromos, May Green 170. Polychromos 168, earth green yellowish. Oh, I guess that, wait a second. They look so much alike. I guess it's 3 polychromos and 1 woomer. And the last one is green, chromium green opaque 174. I have to turn the pencil and see, because this, they both have gold, but they feel the same. So it's just a matter of the writing on it. So, okay, so we're going to start with the woomer pencil. And I think I'm going to do the frog's belly with the light green. And under his throat. So I have started this little project a week ago exactly today, and I'm working on the last page. So this is not for the faint of heart. May Green 170. Not that I spent every day, all day on this, but I have spent quite a bit of time, and I decided to divide it into 2 or 3 videos. 2 for sure. Let me just see here if, and possibly 3. So a video per book, maybe, or maybe the second book. So A Million Unicorns and this one will be able to be together. It depends on how long this is, because I think I already have, is it an hour and a half or just an hour on? So now I'm using earth green, about an hour, I think, on A Million Unicorns, or maybe just a little over. So I'm like, okay, I don't want it to be 3 hours. So if it's both of them are an hour and a half, I'll just do each its own video. I'm keeping the ducks for last because I have no idea what to do with those duckies. I'm just gonna, there's a lot of like circles and all that stuff on the frog. I'm going to ignore that. I might come in maybe with gel pens and focus on that, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. Okay. So the dark green over top, so that's the 174. I'm not gonna say the full name, but it is a polychromos. So yeah, this is, but I'll be glad when these 2 pages are done, because that with that little experiment, that means that I will have gotten 6 pages done in a week. I know it's like, oh my gosh, it's been a week, but I got 6 pages done in a week. Plus I started working. I didn't finish any others, I don't think, but I started working on other ones, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I don't know if I should try to get like another darker green, or if this is going to be okay. I'm going to try and push a little harder where I think there should be like shadows, like behind the leg here. And up here. Oh man, it rained so hard yesterday. Like we had thunderstorms, so it was just coming down. And today the sun is shining. It was supposed to rain today, but I think we got it all yesterday. Oh. Okay, let's do the lightest, which is May Green 170. Try to get a different tone of color in here, and I might even do some of that yellowish green. I just want the frog to have like, I could even put a little bit of brown or something. Or maybe I could take artichoke from Prismacolor. I can do the dark on this leg. So let's do that. So yeah, I started choosing books for the next one, and the next video is going to be WIPs that I started like in June. Try to finish a few of those, right? And I started, or maybe I'm going to mix it. No, I'll just do just June stuff. Anyway, I started picking stuff that was, again, a lot to finish. And I'm like, you can't do that. You got to pick some easy ones, not all hard ones. There. I forgot to do the little leg here. I'll do the dark, do a little shadow, just like that. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I really like the color of the frog. I'm going to try and put in some of that chartreuse. I got to use my woomers again. It's been a while since I used them. They're not as soft as a Prismacolor, but they're buttery. I really like them. The only thing I don't like about them, and I read somewhere that they are going to start selling the pencil open stock, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them open stock, you know, just because they're going to sell them open stock. It doesn't mean that the stores next where I am, or even in Canada, are going to carry them. And I don't want to have to buy like a whole other set, you know, because as you can, yeah. The other one that I was thinking of using, the pencil is way small. I'm like, oh no, it's already starting. And I've used them quite a bit when I first got them. I was using them a lot because, you know, trying them out and stuff. And one of the pinks, I was like, oh, it's already, you know, small. No. Okay, I really like the color of this frog. I like mixing the colors like this, like blending different shades. Like that's what I did for the sky too. Okay. So cute. Let me get a little darker up here. Yeah, I'm kind of not looking forward to those ducks. And I know they look like mallards, so I know they have like different colors. So I guess I'll just pick one thing and maybe make this blue and then make this purple and make their heads. So I'll just have to maybe pick 3 or 4 colors and kind of go for it and get it done that way. Okay. I still don't know. I had started with, you know, some colors with these flowers and I did not like it at all. So I erased everything. So I've kind of been pushing them off and not wanting to do them. I'm kind of thinking now I want to make them like a dark blue, maybe like a blue flower instead of pink, because there's quite a bit of pink. There is blue there, but a different, like a more like a darker blue purple. I don't know. Okay. We're going to call this froggy good. I like him. Okay, so now we're going to work on these flowers here. I got to figure something out with those mountains too. So we have 2 black widows, DG 131 mellow yellow, BW 25 lemonade, and polychromos light yellow ochre 183. Okay. If you don't have a certain color, Karen at My Colorful Country Life has a website called paletkit.com. It's $5 a month, so it's not like crazy expensive. It's, you know, affordable, or you can pay, I think it's $55 for the year or something like that. So you save a month. And let's say if you can you put this, you don't have Black Widows, well, you can put this and ask for an alternative, and it'll give you alternatives, and you know, for maybe some pencils that you do have. Okay, I'm gonna go in the middle and add, maybe I'll go right for the dark in the middle. And go out to the tips for the light. Okay, so I'll do the dark down here, up to the light. So we'll go to the middle color now. And just blend that out. Black Widows is another one that I really like, but you cannot get open stock. But I'm trying to make it so it doesn't stop me from using pencils, you know, because then what's the point of having them? It just means that, you know, that specific color, okay, I can't use it anymore, so start using other ones in the set. Ooh, what I did this morning, I ordered another case for markers. I got it on Amazon. It just, you know, with the Prime Day sale, a lot of stuff will go on sale before Prime Day. And so anyway, the case for the markers was $20 off. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it. It came in a few days ago. I think I mentioned that. It came in, but I just didn't have time to put the case together. So I did today. I put the case together. I moved my shelf because I had to move a shelf on my bookcase so it would fit. I had to move a whole bunch of books around, coloring books. And so I got all that done, and then I added all the markers, the Crayola Super Tips and the Ohuhu markers. And I mean, the numbers, I put numbers myself on the barrels of the Crayola Super Tips, and the Ohuhu has numbers already, but it's inside. But I know there's 16 across, so then I can kind of, you know, guess 1 to 16 is there, 17 to 32, so on and so forth. So I might have to take a couple things out, you know, but I can go pretty close to where the marker is, and it's so much easier than in a flip case. Now what I did do was I moved my Tombos in the bag or the pencil case that the Crayola Super Tips were in, and it just fits the markers that I have, because I only put one marker per slot because they're kind of bigger markers. And that way too, if I get more markers, I can just, you know, start inserting 2 per slots, and I'm not going to get all of them. So it should fit in there. And that means I release another container, a plastic container that I can now use for pencil crate, like pencils, colored pencils, which, yay, I have 10. So now I have 11. It's okay. Okay, so I'm going to blend with the lightest color, and this I should have done with the green when I did those. So I'm going to do that when I go choose the green for this. We'll do that together next. So I'll go choose that. So that's done. I like the way it looks. And now I'm going to choose greens or browns or whatever I'm going to do for this. I'm going to figure it out and I'll come back. Okay, so let's start on the mountains. I think I'm going to do these bushes, I guess, a little different than those. We're going to use Woomer Lime Peel, 483, Polychromos Earth Green Yellowish, 168. And then we'll use this one here too, Chromium Green Opaque, 174. That one will be used in both combos. So we'll start with the Woomer. And I'm just going to do one and then I'll stop the recording, and because I think this is going to start getting really long. Okay, so a nice layer. I guess I've noticed that I'm a layer person more than a blending, I guess. Like, I don't particularly enjoy starting with the darkest color and then going backwards. I like the layering. I still blend. It's just that it's not as, you know, start with the dark, go hard, and then let, you know, softer, and then come over top with the second color and blend those two together. I think I like to have the whole thing colored and then blend over top. And there's no right or wrong way. It's whatever, how you like to do it. Now I go back and then I go with the medium color or the medium tone, the mid tone, and then I come back and blend, and then I take the lightest and I blend the whole thing. And then a lot of times I'll take white and just blend that. I think I need to sharpen my pencils for the other ones. I'm gonna make a sharper tip. But that's what I'm going to do for all the bushes. I'm just gonna do kind of dark at the bottom and then lighter. And then this here, like, everything else makes sense to me except for this. So I really don't know what that is. The top of the trees, like the bushes. Guess I just have to suspend my reality. Perspective, I guess. And just go with it. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do very little of the dark. Like, and again, this needs to be sharpened in order to work properly. But just do a little bit like that and then blend it with the lightest color. And then I'll probably take white. Let me try the white of Polychromos because I don't know where. Oh, there it is. I should still try. I know Prismacolor is, yeah. Prismacolor is the best for that. Like the white of the Prismacolor for like the blending. It works really well. And it doesn't have to be with Prismacolors. It just works well with all pencils. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest and I'll come back for the mountains. All right, it's been a few hours. I lost power for a few hours, so I had to keep going. So I just kept going. What did I do for this butterfly? I used Polychromos 130 salmon, 128 light purple pink, and then I used mauve 248 and a little bit of dark indigo in Polychromos 157, and did that. Now for this dragonfly, I used, what is this? Ultramarine 120, dark indigo also, which is 157. And then I used Indanthrene blue 247. And then I put a little bit of pink, which was 128, just on the wings. Oh, and I did use dark indigo up along here. I think I said dark indigo, but it was along the body of the dragonflies. So those are 2 done. For the flowers here, I used part of what I had over here. So I used DG 131 Mellow Yellow. I did use, that's Black Widow, Light Yellow Ochre 183. Then I used Black Widow BW25 Lemonade. And then I added a little bit of Bister 179. And then a little bit of Burnt Umber 280. And then a little bit over top the whole thing just to kind of blend it, 107 Cadmium Yellow. Just so that they would be a little different than those. And then like the seeds is what I use the dark color. And then this color here, after I had done all the yellow, I put a little bit over top and then blended it with the lighter yellow. This one here, Mellow Yellow. And then for the grass or the mountains, I just remembered, oh yeah, there's a sunset. So I put yellow along all the edges of where the sunset would hit with this. And then for the mountains, I used these 3 colors. I used the Woomer Lime Peel 483, Scorpion Olive Green, Black Widow, and Chromium Green Opaque 174 for the darker. So I did most of the mountain with the lightest, and then I used the olive green for like the shading, and then I went over top, and then over here I just did the olive green and then the dark Chromium Opaque for on this side of the mountain because it would be dark. And I might go again and add a little bit more just so it's a little darker. I did a lot of this, not in the dark, but my desk is not really close to a window, so it was pretty dark. So now I have to go back and make sure that I have everything. I did the butterflies too. I added some of that yellow onto the frog because I found he was blending in too much. So the yellow, mellow yellow, and I also went to all of these and added a little bit of yellow. And I kind of like that a whole lot more than what it was before. Just added a different dimension, I find. So I did that to all of them. Oh, and then I did the grasshopper, which I used a lot of the greens that I had there, except I added a little bit of lime peel after I was done. And then I used a little bit of, I was looking for my artichoke and I couldn't find it. And of course I found it once I was all done. But then I used the bister also just to add a little bit of color. onto that grasshopper. So all of that is done. Now we have to go and do the ducks, which I'm not looking forward to doing, to tell you the truth. Where did I put all the pencils? Okay, so I have these pencils that I want to use on the duck. I have also the dark indigo, and I have a purple that I want to use, and another brown, maybe the darker brown. We'll see what I can come up with that. I want to do, this is a Castle Art. Remember I said I interchange stuff. So this is Carnation 014. It's from the pastel tint. I just wanted a really, really light color here. I'll put that as the base, and then I'll probably add more colors here. Let me see. Let's put a little bit. Oh, is that water? Or is that duck? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'd say that's duck because it's on both. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll go in between. Just kind of like the little base layer here. I'm going to put probably some brown over top of that. Okay, we'll put a little bit of that here. Now, the top of the heads, I think I want them a little bit. Is that brown enough? Brown ochre. Let's try that. Yeah, that's a nice brown. That's a nice brown. And again, I'm not doing all the finicky stuff. No. Nope, nope, nope. I'm just gonna do it as one. I don't own books that, you know, is very, very tiny details. I don't think I would enjoy that, to tell you the truth. To me, that's just too finicky. So yeah, I was close to 3 hours without power. And I wanted to keep going because I want to get this done. Now I was able to edit the other video because my computer was fully charged. So I edited the video. It's now completely uploaded to YouTube. And now I have to do the thumbnail. So that's going to take me a little bit of time. So I thought, well, I want to finish the ducks. This is probably not going to go up for a few days, but it's okay. I just want to get them done so I can move on to something else. Okay, let's do a light purple, and we'll use this purple for like some accents and stuff, or shadows. And this is gray slate, but it has purple in it. It's MN 103. And right now, I'm just trying to take things that are on my desk and to try to minimize the number of colors. Holy, what is this? To try to minimize the number of color on the page. So after a while, I just kind of go, okay, enough colors. So now you have to kind of reuse the colors on different elements so it's not as confusing. Even at that, like if you saw how many pencils, one, that are on my desk, but two, I also have a container that's full. I'm like, holy cannoli. That is a lot. So I'm going to do the purple for this. And I think this one I'll do blue for his wings, just so that they're different. Should I do this one? Ultramarine. Yeah. Let's do this one, and then I can use dark indigo to shade it. I spent a lot of time like shading and changing, adding a little bit of color here, a little bit of color there. It takes me a while. The first coat I'm just doing very lightly. And then I'll go in with dark indigo and maybe, I was going to say maybe a little bit of purple, but I'm going to do purple over here. So now I'm going to add a little bit of purple. And then I'll use the first color and blend it. So this one, I'm going to start with the dark at the top. So I'm glad I got the, I wish I would have done the markers and all that when I lost power, but I mean, I didn't know I was going to lose power, so I did that the first thing because I didn't need as much light to do that, right? I couldn't film without light. Should I do all this purple? Yeah. Let's do all this purple. Again, I don't want to add too many colors. That doesn't really look blue, but with the indigo, I think it will. And then I'll do his tail feathers green. So it'll be blue, purple, and green. I don't know. And brown. Okay, let's do a little bit more of the purple over here too. Just lightly. And then I'm going to blend the two together. Just like that. I'll use that first one and blend it. And then I might, see, I did it kind of scratchy here. It doesn't work right if you go scratchy. I was trying to go light and I went scratchy instead. So I'm going to go and blend that out with the same color. If I try to do it with a lighter color, it's just going to keep looking scratchy. But if I use the same color, then I can blend it out. I think I need, to sharpen this so it's a little sharper. Okay, works better if it's not like a flat edge, because you can kind of get into that paper a little bit. Now, what I like to do in this case, or in these cases, is to add, like with purple, I like to add pink. So I'll just add a little bit of pink here and there. And then I'll blend it again with that pencil. Maybe with the green, I'll add maybe a little bit of blue. And it just adds like a different, it's sort of like the yellow with the green and stuff. It just adds a different dimension. It just looks really cool. And then I take the lightest color and I blend it. The only thing is, you know, if I tried to recreate this, I'd have one heck of a time because I just, you know, use this pencil, that pencil, blend a little bit, add a little bit more. But I really like how it looks. And I don't, if I were to color this again, because this page might, because this is the summer book by Rita Berman, so it might be in the seasons one. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. But if it is, I would want to do it differently anyway. Like different colors. I wouldn't want to do it the exact same color, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for now. Okay, same thing with this. I'll do that on my own time, but I'll blend those in. Now for this one here, we want to bring in the dark indigo. I'll just go where I think there's going to be a little bit of shadow. Trying to think what color I could bring in here, and this one I could bring dark purple. I think it would look nice. Just put a little bit of this. Let me look for a purple. Should I get this one? And then it'll kind of coordinate. So I'll just, and when I do that extra color, I don't push hard. I just lightly kind of add it. And that's why I leave like some places where there's like white that you can see the tooth of the paper, so that I have room to add this extra color. Okay, now we'll add a little bit more of that dark indigo. And then I'm going to go with the lightest, which was the ultramarine. And blend it. I wish I had a lighter color than this, but I'll try it with this one. And if I don't like it, I'll venture and look for a lighter color, but I'm hoping this one will do. So I'll do this over and over again until I have the desired look. And if I find it's too dark, then I come in with the white. See, this is where I wish I had a lighter blue. Should I try with this blue? This is light cobalt turquoise. It's going to add a different hue in there, but it's going to be a lighter blue. And I don't know if you've ever looked at a mallard like on a nice sunny day. The colors that come off their feathers, it's just all kinds of colors. So this actually works out. Yeah, I like how it's lightening it up. And actually, since I did add that color, I think I'm going to add that right here. add that right here. And this one, the cobalt green. A little bit. Okay, and then the very darkest, which is Hello Turquoise. Just like that. And then I'm going to blend with the lighter. I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't put maybe a little bit of the dark indigo in there. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, and go back in with the light. A little bit more of the dark indigo. So I'm going to keep with those the same, all those colors again, probably a little bit of white at some point to kind of lighten it up. But that's what I'm going to do here. Down here, am I going to do, I think I'll do the brown duck, which was what, this? I'm going to go over that first color there from Castle Art. This one, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, so I'm just going to leave that for now. Just like that. I might decide on a different tone of brown for the face there. I don't know. Oh, this I think I'm going to do blue. So it's going to be purple and blue on this side. Which blue though? I think that combo here. So what did I start? I started with the ultramarine, and then I did the dark indigo, and then I added the purple, and then a little bit of turquoise. So I'll do that over here. Now, the green. What am I going to do for the green? Okay, I always look at the tips. So we have that. That's pretty light. And that's even lighter. So we have cadmium green pale, 112. Earth green yellowish, 168, and then olive green, which is a Prismacolor, 911. And then I'm going to need a dark green. Ooh, 908 would be perfect from Prismacolor, but I think this one will do. Pine green, 967. Okay, let's see how this pans out. I'll just do one tail, like one side, and then I'll turn off the recording and just finish the birds. And then these guys here, I think I'm going to make them green. I'll just take a greens that I've already used. It's not much. It's just, I don't even know what they are. The only reason I haven't colored them is I can't figure out what they are. I don't know if they're a plantation or a little creature or no idea. So we'll do it with this. Then the second one would be earth green yellowish. So I'm just going to go up a little bit. And then I'll do the olive green. I'll do a little bit more. what I'm going to do with those, like in there. No idea. I don't know if I'm going to do it with the light green or if I'm going to do it with the dark green. I'm going back to that second color. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit more and blend it with the olive green. Okay, now we're going to go with our darkest, which is the pine green. We're just going to do it right at the bottom here. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with those. Let's use the lightest one, which was the Black Widow. I'll go over the whole thing. Yeah, kind of like that. And maybe a little bit of that mellow yellow. Yeah, it's making it, still using the same colors, but just adding that little pizzazz. Okay. Now I'm going to go over again with all the pencils and just blend, blend, blend. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do the feathers on this one, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with the rest of his head, or their heads and their bodies too. But when I see you again, it'll be all done. I'm just going to use the colors that I have, and I'll probably do the turquoise right here, that turquoise combo, and do like a brown beak. Yeah, so I'll be back. Oh my goodness, it is done. Now on the sides here, I didn't do a very good job with the pencils, so I went and got some soft pastels and just blended it in. Now I want it like a purpley blue, so I just put some purple down, some blue down, and then I took one of these and just blended it right on the page. And I really like how that turned out. I really like it. It's really cool. So I have to remember that, you know, if I'm doing other stuff, if you want a certain color, like I want a blue purplish, just blend them right on the sheet, like right on the paper. I added some Tule art for all like the bubbles or whatever they are. And whew, oh, I just noticed here the center of this flower is not done, so I'll just take that brown and I'll finish that. But this page is done. Oh my goodness, that was a longer process than what I thought for those 3 pages. And I take this, and this is done. Done, done, done. And today I was supposed to work on WIP 3. I thought I was going to finish this yesterday, but I ended up watching my granddaughter yesterday, so that's why I didn't. And I was supposed to start book 18, but we'll see. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know if I'll want to do that, so I might just copy it again for tomorrow, and then up here just put WIP 8. But at least I got it done. I got it done. So in the next video, I'm going to pick 3 of the WIPs that I'm working on right now, like this month, and not part of the 7. I am still going to try and finish maybe 1 or 2 out of those 11 before the end of the month. Today's the 18th, so I have 13 days. No, we're what, June? So 12 days left. And so we'll see how much I get done. But we're going to call it a success. I picked 3 books. I was a little ambitious. It did take me a week, but I got 6 pages done because every book, every coloring book, I ended up finishing 2 pages. And one of them was a full page that I finished. So yay me. Next time, it shouldn't be as much. So I don't know if this ended up being 2 videos or 3 videos, but I could not fit it all in one. And the more that I do this, hopefully I can kind of like, you know, narrow it so that it's down so it's not as long. But I wanted to show you as much as of the process as I could. And I don't like music, so I just end up chatting through most of it. But that's it. That is going to finish the Crack the Whip, my first video, and it was quite the crack. Whoosh. But yeah, 6 pages. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.